So I need to come up with an introduction to this video. Coming up with a unique, interesting intro is hard. This video is my first attempt at a gaming headset review, and today we're taking a look at the Void Pro RGB wireless gaming headset from Corsair. This particular model here currently retails for $100 US and is available in black, white, and yellow.
But there's really only one choice. Yes, of course it's black.
The Void Pro boasts an up to 16-hour battery life, up to 40-foot wireless range, and 7.1 surround sound. I've been using the Void Pro as my primary gaming headset for the past several months now, and have been putting it through its paces. But before I get into its actual performance, let's do a quick overview of the headset. As for what all comes in the box, we have the headset itself, the wireless transmitter / receiver, and then the USB charging cable. The headset itself is very attractive, in my opinion. Corsair's design team did a fantastic job making a headset that looks amazing. The body on the ear cups is made from a combination of matte and shiny black plastic, which makes for a very nice aesthetic. As always, the glossy black portion is wonderful at picking up and showing fingerprints, which looks oh so amazing. Within the glossy black portion of the ear cup is the Corsair sales logo, which is where the RGB LEDs are located. Personally, I think it looks amazing with the sails in white when you leave the LEDs off, and don't really get the point of RGB lighting on a headset since you can't see them while you're wearing them. That is, of course, unless you play games while looking into a mirror, or to add a little pop of color to your gaming selfies. On the left ear cup is where all the action lies. Here's our power button, mute button, volume rocker, micro USB port, and the power / battery level indicator light. The microphone boom is also attached to the left ear cup and is very flexible and can be bent and positioned however works best for you. To mute the mic, you can use the mute button on the outside of the ear cup or simply flip the boom up into the vertical position. When the mic is muted, this red indicator light illuminates to let you know you are now safe to say disparaging things about your friends' gameplay. One thing that seems to be a staple of gaming headset reviews is the microphone audio quality test. So, if you care, here's a quick little comparison of the audio quality from my Blue Yeti microphone and the microphone on the Void Pro. Rocco the Rum Runner rubbed out Rico the Rat with his Roscoe for robbing his rum-running receipts.
Rocco the Rum Runner rubbed out Rico the Rat with his Roscoe for robbing his rum-running receipts.
According to Corsair's website, the padding on the ear cups are made from memory foam covered with a microfiber mesh fabric. I can attest that they are very comfortable to wear for extended periods of time, as I have worn them for dozens of gaming sessions, as well as for many consecutive hours while conducting my battery life tests that I'll be talking about a little later on. The swing arms that attach the ear cups to the headband are made from some kind of metal that gives the headset a nice, high-quality feel. The headband itself is made of matte black plastic with memory foam padding and the same microfiber mesh fabric found on the ear cups. The headband has a ton of adjustment to it and can fit many different sizes of heads, from Frodo Baggins all the way up to Kanye West. Or Donald Trump. He seems to think pretty highly of himself too. All jokes aside, this headset seems to be made for people with larger diameter heads. I prefer it on its smallest setting, as I feel it fits my head the most snugly that way. I don't consider myself to have a particularly small head, but if I go bigger than the first or second notch, the headset feels way too loose and shifts around on my head a lot when I look up or down. To wear my headset around my neck like the cool kids do, I like to adjust the headband as big as it will go, otherwise it feels like
being strangled by a really weak guy all day.
Thank you, Mitch Hedberg. When it comes to audio quality, I'm not an audiophile, so to me, the Void Pro sounds great. While testing the battery life, I use them, of course, to do some gaming, listen to some music, watch YouTube videos, and even watched a movie. Overall, they sounded great. They did distort a bit when listening to music with a lot of bass, but that was also with the bass boost EQ preset enabled, so once I switched to another preset, that went away. The 7.1 surround sound is of course emulated surround, and to be honest, when gaming, I don't know that I could hear much of a difference when it came to directional sound between the Dolby 7.1 surround and the stereo setting. Speaking of the 7.1 surround sound, there is a shortcut built into the headset that allows you to turn the 7.1 surround sound on and off without opening up the Corsair utility engine software. The volume rocker has a button built into it, and you can hold it in for a second or so to activate or deactivate the 7.1 surround. A single quick press of the button will cycle between the different EQ presets, and pressing the rocker up or towards the back of your head turns the volume up, and pushing it down or toward your mouth turns the volume down. Battery life on the Void Pro I actually found to be better than advertised. Corsair claims up to 16 hours of battery life, and I actually found with the RGB lights turned off, my headset lasted over 18 hours on a single charge. With the RGB lights on, it actually performed better than I was expecting it to. It didn't make it to the advertised 16 hours, but it did nearly make it to 15 hours, lasting about 14 hours and 50 minutes on a single charge. Charging time isn't too bad either. After fully depleting the battery, it took about 3.5 hours to fully recharge. As the battery gets low, there is an audible low battery warning that I started hearing once there was about 8% battery remaining, something like that. For those that are curious, my headset continued to work with the RGB lighting turned off for about 2 hours after the first low battery warning beeps started. You can continue to use the headset while it's charging. However, the USB cable is for charging only. It does not carry data to and from the headset. You must leave the wireless dongle plugged into your computer for the headset to continue working. This then means in order to use and charge the headset at the same time, you'll need to populate 2 USB ports on your computer. For me, this isn't a big deal because I have more than enough free USB ports, but I imagine for people using these with a laptop or some other small form factor computer with fewer available USB ports, this could pose an issue. Oh, one thing I almost forgot to mention, but I feel may be important to share, is when I have the wireless receiver plugged into one of the USB ports on the back of my PC, the headset would randomly cut out. I'd be in the middle of a game and all of a sudden my audio was gone. My first thought was the battery had died, so I checked the battery level in the Corsair software, but found the battery still had a lot of charge left. I tried unplugging the dongle and plugging it back in, and even tried other USB ports on the back of the computer, but the same problem kept recurring. I finally tried it on one of my front panel USB ports, and since then it's been working flawlessly. No more disconnects. So I'm not sure what's going on and why it keeps disconnecting when it's plugged into one of my rear USB ports, but there's obviously something interfering with the wireless signal back there. So the moral of this story is if you purchase a Void Pro and experience random disconnects, try plugging it into a front panel USB port instead. The last thing I want to talk briefly about before going into the Q software is the headset's range. Corsair advertises a up to 40 feet or 12 meters of wireless range. So let's go for a little walk. For my full-time job, I work for my dad's construction company as a drafter, meaning that I draw the house plans his company builds. It just so happens that I drew the plan for my house, and according to AutoCAD, 40 feet from my office where my computer is, puts me right here at the doorway into my master bedroom. And sure enough, the headset works great all the way until this point. As soon as I take a step further, the audio begins to cut out. When you first load up the Corsair utility engine, you'll be greeted with this screen where all of your Corsair Q enabled devices will be displayed. If you click on this little gear icon up here, it will then take you to the global settings page. From here, you can update your headset's firmware, check the level of the battery, and adjust a couple other options. Ticking this box will turn the voice prompts on or off. The voice prompts will confirm for you when you've turned your headset on or off, muted or unmuted your mic, enabled or disabled the surround sound, and it will let you know when your battery is getting low. The other tick box here is to help you save battery power by shutting off the headset after a certain amount of inactivity. The cool feature here is that it allows you to custom set the amount of time before the headset automatically shuts off. The last thing here is the brightness slider, which allows you to adjust the intensity of the headset lighting. Ooh. Unlike my Strafe keyboard and M65 Pro mouse, the Void Pro only has a few different options to play with. Over on the right-hand side of the screen, we have two different sliders which can only be adjusted when the mic is active. If the mic is muted, then these sliders cannot be used. The mic volume slider, of course, adjusts the mic's output volume, while the side tone slider adjusts how much you can hear yourself and other sound that is being picked up by your mic. I find having the side tone volume set at about halfway allows me to hear myself talking enough to keep me from talking really loudly while I'm gaming with friends. That drives my wife crazy when I do that. Below these two sliders is the button to toggle between stereo and Dolby surround sound. On the left side of the screen, let's first take a look at the lighting effects tab. On the Void Pro, we don't have the level of customizability with the RGB lighting that my other Corsair products have, but this is a headset we're talking about, so the few default options here are more than adequate in my opinion. In the EQ presets tab, there are 5 default presets built in, and personally, I prefer to just use Pure Direct. You can of course create your own custom EQ presets if you're into that sort of thing. As for me, this headset is first and foremost a gaming headset, and the default settings work perfectly for me in that department. Overall, I find the Void Pro to be a very nice gaming headset. The RGB lighting is kind of pointless in my opinion, but where it matters most, I feel it delivers the goods. First of all, it's wireless, and having no cords to get in your way or tangled up in is always fantastic. I feel the audio quality is great for gaming. The battery life is more than enough to keep you going even through the longest of gaming sessions. It has great wireless range, and the mic gets the job done. If you're contemplating purchasing a Void Pro, you can check it out in my Amazon store using the link in the video description. Before you take off, please drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. If you have friends that are looking for a new gaming headset, share this video with them so they can see whether or not the Void Pro would work for them. If you have a question about the Void Pro, or if you just want to chat about your day, feel free to drop that in the comments section, and I promise to do my very best to respond to you there. Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me and watching the video. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to doing it again next time.